Parliament and I think so former Deputy Finance Minister watena si adope ya yene no ebabedi enkomo mame emma nachi ansa de atwade kakra e de ama. Honorable, good morning.
Morning, Minia.
Na empomo boko de traffic na chi waka krum. Yes.
Yeah, apologies.
Okay.
Friday traffic na ya na
anode. But we be aboko constituency to say
I'm hoping say metumi akọ constituency weekend.
Okay.
And any Muslim for ekudi omo festival. And ya sorting them out kakra our constituency over the long
weekend, you know. Because Monday a holiday.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, very well. Yeah, that's a start no pay your tone suffer waba. Na ya brana can say that no so ntin kobo no ya bebo no tempa so na ya ko first IMF and I think so National Cathedral ho enkomo any day we are mine honorable asore o mine no say echo enti honorable Ricky Hagan aba enti ma yamadachi we no yemi nkomo ne kakra but my messages no 0550596929 0550596929 and no WhatsApp line ya de ejo messages no and I 0550567929 SMS text line no what about your budget na yakin kind nyina no e the amount. All right, let's begin with IMF. As at first quarter of this year, as at March 2022, we are told by the Bank of Ghana say in total debt stock as a country 391.9 billion Ghana cedis. Data from the Bank of Ghana. In terms of ensure any increases, no, in public debt stock, no, go up by 40.1 billion by end of March in 2022, end of first quarter, representing about 78% of our GDP, and as compared to last year, December 2021, and now a year 80.1. Fan ye free and yababedruha with yensi kasem, and then IMF bailout as I say yes kise ye bet me undergo a program.
Yo, me and a payment I say one mama Quinja or
Kessben.
If you come in Kuma viewers and your listeners. Let's cut a long story short.
Okay.
Because I'm really hot. Now to cut a long story short, and it's a
my microphone in bell.
Yeah. You bedu baby you do as a result of policies are. And your ban policies are and your policies are papa and I say omu design policy no implementation no anko yi.
Okay.
And omu eborosika over the years since they came into office to finance sa policies here anko yi no.
Okay.
And the government has refused so we review sa policies no because bibia wo ya do baby also we review now we say but this government has refused to do that.
Okay.
So they keep pumping, good money over bad projects. Say you're borrowing there and you're borrowing on its own and you're bad thing.
Okay.
But it depends on what you are borrowing for. Even as an individual, maybe I would talk with the baby Juma. It makes sense. Because a human would you salary
free
and it's a wako toka and yet bad investment because a do juma. But say biobia wako you loan no now what they are be before would you could do with Nimana Bibia you have to pay the loan. A jumana who hear car the aquan one toka would be quick. So you're going to work yourself becomes problematic. In the end, who company the crab maker said they are withdrawing your service. And if you could pay now now would be just that debt. If you want to draw an analogy with Ghana's situation, that is what it is. Yakojisika, I am your man for Swamba Hamahin. So now in repaying that debt, you knew Sika, you beat and that is what has brought us to where we are at the moment. About policies or by flagship programs, free education, 1D, 1F,
okay.
Free education is a good policy. The only thing is say on our side, and I said, you pay brief, say, oh, and I'll say, progressively, because constitution class aneka, progressively, those who can afford to pay should be allowed to pay.
Okay.
Because in any society, where tax back at you say, reason why AG is for tax, exchange in here for, and he said, it's for no will be into what you almost tax the Sahara, and then I would be here for. It's the same with free education. ebi no ho mu ni bi obetumi akọ school enti sa wo obi ho no obetumi etua ono na also otua na wuji ni sika na
odi aboa de oni bi
no that's the way general society works. People who have support those who don't have, but cause all these years. So wasteful expenditure reckless lavish. But the president at the plane move for $18,000 as here for and corruption.
Okay.
Now, moving forward, in society, Ghana and Kessben, there were structural problems in terms of your economy, the way it is structured.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you import baby, you export very little. And you import what is the kind of what you call just importing about? And you importing our cost. Cost to say a foreign currency.
Okay.
In your mom kota dia wa man at the they need foreign currency to do it. And then the pressure edugu you see the so because people are mopping out, you pumping CDs into the system and taking out dollars. So the system flooded with CDs but less dollars. We don't print dollars. Your dollars and reserves we print only CDs. America for them printed dollars, so they can do anything they want with the dollars. And together with so many other things, say investors or invest in your economy, they don't believe in our economy anymore. It's almost turn almost asset now, almost this kind of asset no almost turn in cities, but we also cities no more
dollars.
And then Ukraine Russian war. Sisi anama here petroleum situation no sika ebe here for oil no nyoma. Ti we na boom e create some problem.
Okay.
But problem na external problem no. They have only come to expose the internal problems we have. Nti any external issues no COVID any problem no. But rather no omo ebe expose your own mismanagement of our economy. That is what has brought us where we are at the moment. Now, IMF, you know, the dollars also say IMF.
Okay.
Because at the Chelsea IMF, and they say IMF Nankasa, you're setting up no. IMF you Juma, and they say, Omoba help with your exchange rate imbalances. That is the job of the IMF.
Okay.
The primary job. A China. As a World Bank almost support to poverty issues in Yama. But Omwejuma is to support your balance of payment.
Okay.
Now, your problem with Ghana is your problems who group it into three. First problem is to do with deficit and debt.
Okay.
Because your deficit no and then a kakabomwa na debt. Okay. Your second problem is to do with high inflation. High inflation, our three components. Bacon and any food inflation.
Okay.
So the bulk of our inflation, answer Ukraine war in your maybe your inflation na that tells you say we have
about 3 months ago, Ghana's Task Service said food, any transport, and a high power.
Exactly. Now, transport is complicated.
Okay.
Because transport a fuel inflation no
and essential
transport
okay
because getting the food from the farm gate to the market or the car and befa so a fuel no cost then obviously you pass on to the transport so and then you number 3 in American fuel inflation, transport itself inflation, and food inflation na costs and fuel inflation you can blame it on external issues.
Okay.
But Ghana government can do something about it. And they are not doing it. That is where the problem is.
What are we supposed to do?
Okay. First of all, you need Ghana government NTS KBA fuel Ghana. Anybody they've been telling us the fuel prices now cost is part of the problem. No. The problem is this government. And this could end up one day as a crime. Because what they're doing basically is that so fuel prices no. So the calculation.
Yeah.
In Canada, when I was a deputy minister of finance, my name is boss me who newspaper money pay. We decided say Ghana no yama subsidies dodo.
Okay.
And they becoming too expensive. At that time too, we had challenges at the same time.
It was a burden on government.
It was a burden on government, and some of the subsidies or financing inefficiencies. Into ye subsidies if you want, into BDCs, form few on the bar together with the OMCs,
Yeah.
Mumfama hand at market price.
Okay.
Now you see market price with the consumers. And the price no cost it will be a cost to us. Above from so
it will be a benefit.
Benefit.
And I'm with deregulation by.
Yeah, deregulation by.
Okay.
Okay, now you do point to be say we are policy. Policies, it doesn't, policies now, yes, or yeah, permanent. Taxes in the will be a friend sunset clauses.
Okay.
I dare not achieve the purpose of which me at Ameno. Say, see, this situation, deregulation, no, a problem. And we must act. That's why we have a government. Otherwise, the NDC, you set up, you remove the subsidies. There was no need for any government in the future. Ghana should be on autopilot. But we have a government to be able to regulate and deregulate, depending on what the economy is doing. So at the moment, problem is also the fuel prices are going up to an extent that is bringing an undue hardship to the citizens of Ghana. And as a government, you have to do something, because apart from doing something to cushion the burden on the, you will also help your own inflation. Tax now, what say mathematician and economist, you have very coefficient. I did a calculation, and I was part of this price built up calculation setup. Actually, say oil price over your budget. Okay, I believe say oil prices in the global market, about $60 a year in the whole year average.
And your projection now
be your projection. So then I want to show budget into revenue or from the oil sector now is based on $60. Okay. So the oil price is also based on $60. Now oil price are called 100 almost throughout the year. That's the projection.
Yeah.
Into just revenue now. Into fuel taxes on the fuel side, your revenue will also go up. Because if your tax is 4% of what the crude oil will be, then when the crude oil is 60, you get a certain amount.
Yeah.
When it becomes 100, you get
increase
difference.
Okay.
That difference is a free money to government, and government should be able to use that money to cushion the price, which they are not doing.
I know that more friend of price went for.
Yeah. But no. Where your tax windfall?
Tax windfall. Okay.
But price, because you're oil producing nation as a country. Okay. Until you get some windfall, whatever name you want to call it, at the front end in the price itself. Now we call the back end. Ghana is an oil producing nation. Until you produce oil. When we were in office, we had only one oil field. This government now has about 3 or 4. So today we produce 200,000 barrels a day of oil. Yeah, we are not one of the big oil nations, but in this case, fuel. Your price is say in the budget say $60 per oil Okay, so the finance minister are the projections based on $60 of crude that they are going to sell. Now all of a sudden oil prices are 100,
and the world market. The
finance minister is getting $40 difference from what they anticipate. That is what we call the windfall.
Okay.
The price windfall you are talking about. So the front end windfall and the back end windfall. The back end windfall is $500 million. It can comfortably cushion oil prices, and we can have a liter of oil or petroleum product at about $9 instead of 9 cedis instead of the
11 to 12
cedis that we are now.
So you think that the 500 million back went for advantage able to us as an oil producing country are buying emphasis subsidizing the price.
Yeah, because it is an anticipated revenue. Government did not budget for it.
Free money are buying.
Yeah, you knew a budget.
Okay.
And the problem was not in the budget. The oil prices are going to get this end. So two unanticipated costs and revenue should be matched against each other. And then your budget will stay the same. Now, the third problem, is to do with the currency.
Okay. The CD depreciation.
Yeah. The CD depreciation, it fits into what is broadly known as balance of payment. With balance of payment, as I said, in a country, we export and then import, but we import more than we export. So our import revenue, our export revenue is very small because we don't add value to what we export. Raw gold, raw cocoa, and all that. Our import cost is very high.
Yeah.
Because we bring a lot of things into the country. So that's one end. Your foreign debts are in dollars. All these things I'm talking about are dollars.
Yeah.
Your foreign debt are in dollars. Your debt in 390. Half domestic and almost half
external.
External is dollars. We need to be able to service that debt, but you can only service that debt when your export revenue are good enough to
service.
Okay. Now then you have your reserves, which is what you use in supporting your currency. What reserves is in dollars. So when the currency is depreciating,
and then now they support it.
Mekacho said there will be more cedis in the market than dollars. That's why your currency is depreciating. So you use your reserves in your dollars. What the better cedis if you market, so that you reduce the cedis in the market and put more dollars. So that depreciates the dollar and appreciate your cedi.
Interesting. The reserves are your World Bank of Ghana SFV notice said the requirement of the BDCs somewhere $400 million are more require at a certain level of rate a Bank of Ghana they cannot afford that amount because reserves echo from kakra until now what they can do for the BDCs $100 million. They would have to turn back to the black market or other commercial banks to make up the difference now ebebano. How do we sustain this moving forward? Because going to the IMF you say conditionalities ebet miaba.
It's a bit of a problem. In a sense that in the past now in reserves we replenish the reserves with obviously our export revenue in Ghana. Any reserves now so in the last few years, Eurobond be. Eurobond in the last 2 years, I think almost $3 billion a year.
Yeah.
It is $3 billion in a bar. And then of course our reserves Adwoa reserves At some stage we have about 7 billion, which is about 3.7 months of import cover, which is the standard. We have 4 or 5 months a year, but Ghana we've always been struggling on that. Now, the problem at the end who saw they should have gone to IMF earlier was that reserves a hard currency as we talked about dollars, and then I would ever support people like BDCs, and then people who are going to import things into the country will get money from, and then I will be to be our external debt because in dollars. So if you don't have a way of supply to that reserves now, you will end up having a problem. There will cocoa syndication 1.5 billion annually. And also you have the reserves then we can use it to cushion all these monies and back because capital market say here you feel almost say we've been downgraded by junk status into now if you are not getting that hard currency, and this is the problem we had with the yield levy. Some of us have been saying that look, the yield levy should be the least of your problems because our yield levy money it will not solve the immediate problem you have, which is your currency, which is the basis of everything, most of the things.
Because the E-levy are taken in cedis.
Yes, are taken in cedis. Exactly. You should be the finance minister.
All right, well, thank you.
The E-levy, at the moment, we need one.
Yeah.
The E-levy is taken in cedis. So what the E-levy is in the reserve, you will have to convert that
into dollars.
Sending out the quote your external data, you have to convert it into dollars. Sending out the comma BDCs, when they are for crude bar, you should be converted into dollars. Who converting into dollars? You are further depreciating
your currency. Interesting.
So it is not what you need. Problem deficit, debt, high inflation. And then currency. Currency now also solving this issue. The rest are structure, and you need time to work on those ones. So if you go and focus on yield levy and waste everybody's time for a long period of time, now when you be prepared you can't use that to support your balance of payment. The area also for if we are not going to get bonds coming in, euro bonds coming in, if your what is it called, syndicated loan is going to come in, where do you then get the money from? And the option you have available to you if you don't have your own money, is the IMF.
Okay.
So if you know that and you go early, then you get the hard currency because IMF support is in dollars. You get that straight into your reserves and you'll be able to
cushion that,
and then you come and look at your other problems, cutting off rationalizing your expenditure, looking for more revenues in the sensible areas, and then dealing with your fuel situation by using your windfall to cushion things, and then your economy will begin to stable.
Okay.
Because problems that happen are external. So you do what you can do. You can't do anything about Ukraine war. But Ukraine war has exposed you. Nobody knows how long that war will go on. So we are going to sit there and say, Ukraine war and Korea, we're going to suffer. They didn't do that. And now they are about to do that. Into your reserves, the only way it can be replenished if we don't get this Eurobond and stuff is the IMF program.
The only option, as I say,
at the moment, it was
okay.
Because if you are going to borrow commercial in dollars, it's going to be very expensive.
Okay.
Because of our ratings, because of the state of our economy now. But maybe because we are talking to IMF, we may be able to do some negotiations somewhere. Now, in my estimation, which we probably wouldn't get, Sika here says to cushion our reserves and show the balance of about
payment.
$5 billion US dollars.
$5 billion US dollars
is what we need.
Okay.
Now, I arrive at this $5 billion because when I look at in the last budget, our payments of our debt, what they call debt, what is it called? Servicing our debt.
Debt, okay.
Which is the interest and what they call amortization, that's the principal. It's about 40 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
40 billion Ghana cedis is roughly $5 billion US dollars. So you want to signal to investors, if you're able to get 5 billion, it signals to investors that you are not going to default on your debt. Even if the money doesn't arrive the same day and it's even staggered.
Yes, but we know, so say IMF first even with that, it comes in entrenchment.
Yeah, and
yes.
You don't need all the money. What you need is that the international community will know that you will get the money.
Through a program.
Yes, because what is your asset? Your asset is what you have in a bank together with your building and also your receivables. Sika it's part of your asset. So this works as the same way as receivable. But you are saying that IMF my fear right now is that we may not get a program.
Through the IMF?
Yes.
We may not get a program.
We may not get a program.
I didn't think I'm more predicted doom.
No, in your prediction of doom, okay, you ask yourself, what will Ghana have to do for it to become acceptable with IMF? Some memo program. All the things that Akufo-Addo say he is not going to review SHS.
All the policies, yes.
Okay. SHS will become one of the key things when we are looking at conditionalities.
To the IMF.
So if you don't want to negotiate, the IMF is going to tell you that, look, this thing is not sustainable. You are spending 2 billion of your budget on this. This is supposed to be going up. In the next 5 years, you'll be spending about 5-6 billion on education alone. That takes everything out of your budget, and you have limited space to do, things. And then again, after spending all this money, the quality of free education you are giving is not good enough.
Interesting.
Kids are not getting, places and all that. People are sleeping outside as we be here. Okay. So if you don't want to negotiate on that, then why will IMF do a program with you? Okay, there are maybe other things, planting for food and jobs. This is the only country that I know that the more food we plant, the less we get. Because if we have a program planting for food and jobs, a program of planting for food and jobs, where almost about 600 million, apart from the Ministry of Agriculture's own budget, an additional 600 million is pumped into planting for food and jobs alone. Why would you have food inflation? Why would you have your contribution of growth from the crop sector as a contribution to GDP been declining since 2017, and it's in the budget appendix, I think 4A or something. It's there. From 2017, the crops contribution to GDP has been going down. And this is a country where you have a policy, a deliberate policy to plant for food and jobs. So that program must be reviewed. So is other
flagship programs,
D1F and all those things. So this is my concern. Now, also the problem becomes, if we do all the things you are asking us to do, IMF, what are you really going to give us? Look, in the last 30 years, in the Fourth Republic, as Overton say, I call IMF 16 times, they do it count 17 times. In the last Republic, you call IMF very 4 times. 1999, you call IMF.
2003, 2009.
2003, and he pick no. You call IMF. Then President Mills.
2009.
Echo IMF. And then John Dramani Mahama.
2015.
Echoed by IMF. What mean you have from IMF in the last 30 years? And let's listen to this carefully. In the last 30 years, IMF scaling out the boom and $2 billion.
Yes, 1.9.
Exactly.
$1.96 billion. Yes.
And the argument now say almost just about $2 billion. And the argument now say we have $3 or $5 billion. Okay. Then second, the question becomes, during the COVID, outside your budget, the normal budget, you were also able to raise almost about $2.5 billion US just for the COVID alone, in addition to your budget
from the IMF,
from the IMF and some other sources, stabilization fund, that. Because the total amount the minister about parliament is about 19 billion.
Yes, 19.3.
Yeah, that's approximately 2.5 billion, US dollars. SAS Kenya Zudi IMF just about last year, 2020, 2021. Ningina went to be for solve a problem. Meanwhile, COVID nearby, when we sit down and really look at COVID, what really did you add as infrastructure
to the state?
To the state in resolving COVID.
Interesting.
Not a single hospital.
Interesting. All right, we would have to do this again because you're very some filming. Yes,
we'll do Hantem Kakra. Next time, I promise.
Yes, I need discussion again. But quick one before I be no. The Privileges Committee, Adwoa Safo, what is the way forward?
Well, it's an interesting one. As you rightly said, I'm a ranking of the
Privileges Committee.
Privileges Committee. Now, your friend will be normally speaker refer trip in Japan, Kessben and Adwoa Safo. Okay, so we sent out the normally Obiapa Parliament. We'll document so what church or address maybe able who this time address was not only a physical address, your email in address, your WhatsApp in address, what the name of Parliament. If Parliament is looking for me right now as I'm sitting in your studio, they will call my number, they will send me a WhatsApp, they will go to my email, they will go to my humble abode and all that to find me. Okay, so if a member of Parliament is being looked for, and I say a 7 is someone to appear before the privilege, these are the things we are going to use. Okay. Now, who took coin, as we know that she's not in the country. Who took coin, you give your forwarding address. Sebia, me kwa America, na me kwa me sister fee.
Okay.
Me sister fee
on so and so street.
Yes, so and so street. After me phone number, me use you, and my sister phone number. You give so and so. So who took coin, you leave all that information. So all the records we have on her, as far as trying to reach her, you're exhausted. Now, she did not show up.
Okay.
Others showed up eventually, and we are almost sitting. So, we appear on Joy FM.
Okay.
Interview. No, say 7 Okay, so it is on us to make sure that she gets.
Okay.
So then we had to go and look at what other options we have. Now, on our standing orders, 205.
Okay.
Of our standing orders, 2053. Say,
Kessben.
So we share member of Parliament, have a privileged committee. Now why you Bibia publish in the media.
Okay.
So who say a publishing media say Adwoa Safo.
In the newspapers.
Now, luckily, this day and age, we say apart from your physical aid, we say more online in your money. So these days, almost every media houses are more online. Into who are blue now per se, which you program
you'll be able to Facebook. We are live,
Facebook online. So we use all those options to reach her wherever she is in the United States. Because we have no idea, but we've got a hint or hope. After you see a manual option, say because you say baby.
Okay.
You know, so you have an option that you can appear by Zoom.
Okay.
It's you send the Zoom link also.
Edeman.
The only thing we didn't do is we didn't put a Zoom link on the publication.
Okay.
Because that would be obviously, like I say, there are more but all the other means, no, through her PAs and all that we did. She was supposed to appear the day before yesterday. I think she did not come. Honorable Korte was supposed to have a follow-up of her hearing. He came, and we finished with him. So Honorable Adwoa Safo, at the moment, we have not been able to reach her.
Okay.
And also, unreaching him.
Back.
And I can't even confirm. Say 7
Okay.
But we have exhausted everything within the law.
Okay.
Okay, so our job now
is
to
done.
Report to the speaker and say, you gave us 3 people who were absent from Parliament for 15 days. 9171C of the Constitution says that if you don't come to Parliament for 15 days in one sitting, you lose your seat. But the same Constitution, in fairness, says that give the person a hearing. Maybe there's a legitimate reason Nipakono to Myanmar. Kessben. Would you reason there? Yeah, recommend to the speaker or to the plenary, that is the house, that the person should stay or should go, and that decision is finally determined by the speaker. And you report him and say you now. So me at this stage, I will consider Honorable Adwoa Safo as a missing person.
Okay.
In a sense, the reason why, and I stated it at our meeting, the reason why I'm saying that she's a missing person is that she is a minister of state.
Yeah.
And a member of parliament. So if a minister of state and a member of parliament, if you can know it should become a national security concern.
Okay.
At least Ghana were embassy of America. Maybe America. We report to the Ghana embassy. Say, Maba, the you man, I say, we may be private. A crowd here vehicle, no, your mom to me, Adwoa, so that you don't have to spend the state money driving around. So, and that is not our work because it's not within our scope. Say, or embassy, and I say, yeah, what we have to do. She hasn't shown up. We report to the speaker that we have not heard from her. But natural justice suggests that if you haven't heard somebody, you cannot pass judgment. On them. So it will be up to the speaker.
The speaker to recommend. There. Okay. Honorable, I'm grateful for your time this morning.
My pleasure.
I'm grateful. You better you be the next time. Now.